Welcome to the Messy Together podcast, where we dive into the highs, the lows, and what the fuck moments of life.
Because if we're going to be a mess,
at least we're in it together.
Action. For the video.
Wow.
What's up, guys? It's been a few weeks.
It's been ages.
We're late, but that's okay. We're here now. Life slapped us in the face.
It did. Smacked us hard.
Yeah. And to be fair, we actually recorded this episode 2 days ago.
Okay, I was going to say, are we going to talk about it?
For sure. We were catching back up. We re-recorded this episode. Audio was jacked up.
Yeah.
We didn't want you guys to have to suffer through this episode. So we're redoing it.
Straight up recorded on Wednesday for an hour. I spent 2 hours trying to edit it. And the audio was just playing games.
I was thinking maybe, so we had gone 20 days, 17 days.
Yeah.
Without seeing each other.
Yeah.
And then we jumped right into recording because we didn't want to be any later.
No, exactly.
So maybe that's why we sounded rusty.
Maybe
we needed a little
party time.
We need a little bestie time.
We need a little margarita time.
Marg and toddies.
Margs and toddy times.
Oh, and we tried a new tequila.
We did. Did
maybe
you try?
That threw us off.
I think it did.
Yeah. I think after 3 o'clock today, I'm going to try the jalapeno one. We can bring it.
Oh, I was like, after 3 o'clock?
I'm on call.
Amber's on call.
I'm on call right now. Yeah. So if at any point I get called in to go fly, I have to leave. But that's okay.
Gotta go.
That's
not going to happen.
No, it's not.
It's not going to happen.
Manifest.
We're not manifesting that.
I missed you though.
I missed you so much. I was texting Amber before we recorded and I was like, I don't feel okay. I don't know if you guys... how you value your relationships or anything like that.
I don't know if you guys love your best friend as much as I love my best friend.
I don't know if you love your best friend like I love my best friend.
Literally what you just said.
But I'm obsessed. Literally. I text her, I was like, I don't feel like me without you.
No, and the way that this is one of those things where you're like, I didn't realize you felt that way.
No, really.
Even though I knew. It's like you tell me, but I don't believe it. And then you're like, you say things out loud. And then I'm like,
what do you mean?
I'm like, that's what my brain said.
That's how I feel.
That's what my heart told me yesterday.
That's what I've been going through.
My heart popped out, spoke to me face to face.
Threw up a little bit.
It said, I'm not sure that we're on the same page as a human body without Ashlyn.
No. I was like, I'm not talking the way I usually talk. No, I'm not having fun the way that I usually have fun.
I wake up in the morning and I'm feeling
I'm like, do I text her or is that annoying? Do I send multiple texts? Maybe.
It's not.
Yeah.
Do it more.
Hey,
you
text
guys
me all the time.
Bother your best friend.
Because it's not bothering if they love you. And if it bothers them, then they don't love you.
Yeah. Rethink that.
Hey, rethink that friendship.
I've been in friendships before where it didn't feel anything like this. So
I'll take this for sure over any of that bullshit.
Absolutely. Remember when we first, kind of after our fight, I was talking about if you don't feel this way, you're so busy. We're so damn busy all the time.
Oh yeah. Full blown adult relationships. How do you make them work?
We need to only be prioritizing the ones that shoot us to the stars.
Yeah.
Fill our cup.
Yeah. I was even thinking about that today. Okay. So one of my really close friends from work was like, oh, come over for a pool day, da 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 da. And I was like, okay. I woke up and I was like, I want to go to spin. Amber and I should record if she doesn't get called in. I want to go through my closet. Think about all the adult things.
I wanted to go through your closet today, but I didn't want to ask you and be annoying.
Never annoying. But I'm like, okay, I have this day off. This other person has this day off who invited us. Why would I not prioritize that? This person just moved. I haven't seen his place yet. I haven't hung out with him since my birthday and I don't even count that. I was half drunk and there were a bunch of people here. So I'm like, prioritize that friendship. That makes me feel good instead of being that's the battle of knowing you should be prioritizing you time, but also prioritizing your relationship. So it's ooh, 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 ooh. Which one do we go? Which way? And it's but I can do this today, but I can do that tomorrow. Oh, it's very difficult.
There's a fine line.
Yeah.
That could be a whole episode.
We'll make it an episode.
We can.
We kind of did hit on it a lot in one episode.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
But anyways, What'd you guys do? What'd you do for 2 weeks without me?
What'd you do? I was sick the entire time.
So like nothing.
No, I did absolutely nothing. I went to a single baseball game, which is possibly where Dylan and I got sick.
Yeah.
But like he started feeling crummy like the next day.
You guys didn't eat the peanuts that were already on the floor, right?
You're not supposed to do that? No, but we ate a lot of Wetzel's pretzels and drank a lot of beer.
I could do it.
Oh my God. We were taking, so
it's definitely not cheese. So I don't know what it is.
I don't know, but I ate it. A lot of it. I ate a lot of it. No, so I worked that day and Dylan's like, oh, hey, like I got tickets to this baseball game. Like, let's go. And then his two friends also already had tickets. So like, okay, cool. We're going to meet up with them. We took a little lifty poo. Lyft picks us up, right? And I don't even know if I've told you this.
I don't think so.
I don't know. I thought about it the other day. I was like, I don't think we've discussed this. So Lyft picks us up. She's very quiet. All the windows are down. The wind is like smacking us in the face. I'm like, ugh, I don't like the vibe of this. Yeah. I go to like roll up the window halfway. I'm like, I don't know. We're about to get on the freeway and she's like, I just want to let you guys know, like, I'm feeling really nauseous right now. I was like, okay, do we get out?
That's why she had all the windows down?
Yes. And then proceeds to say, I'm pregnant. So I'm just experiencing a lot of nausea. I said, oh shit, here we go. Morning sickness, but make it like.
Sickness? Is it 4 of you in the car or it's just you and Dylan?
No, it's just me and Dylan.
Okay.
Yeah. Brendan and Andra were already there. And
you know what? You didn't tell me about it. I think I was flying.
I think I sent a Snapchat.
You sent a Snapchat and then I like forgot to like recap.
Yes.
But this is better. Go ahead.
Yeah. So we're driving on the freeway, wind smacking us. My eyes are like half shut.
You're like crying.
May or may not have had a can of Red Bull with tequila in it. I don't know. May or may not.
Who's to say?
Who's to say, really? And she's just like silent. She's like hunched over the steering wheel.
No.
Like just gunning it.
Okay, first of all, if she's going to vomit out the window, your window needs to be closed.
That would have. That's like some Billy Madison shit. Like that would go around and
up and
face.
around.
Up and around. Yeah. So we get off the freeway and she's just like, you can tell she's unwell, right? We're on like 7th Street, like by Taco Boys, like haven't even entered like downtown, like just exited the freeway. And she just rips the door open at a red light and just starts throwing up.
At the red light?
Yeah. Throwing up into the street. And like Dylan's like, hey, just like pull over on the street. Just pull over. There's a side street. Get up in there. This is like not safe. You know, for you, your head's out
your
the door.
Head's out the door.
There's a car an inch from your face. So we pull over and she just continues to throw up.
Dylan's like, should I drive?
Literally. You would have thought. We're sitting there just like sipping, being really quiet. There's like rap on. There's like some probably Meg the Stallion and we're just like vibing.
I
right?
hope this girl tells the story at her baby shower.
I hope so too.
I hope she does.
Because Dylan, the sweet angel that we all know him to be,
absolutely
exits the vehicle, walks around the car. She's still head out of the door, throwing up. He comes over, starts patting her back. He starts rubbing.
I could just see Dylan, like, he's like, I have a hair tie, puts her hair.
Literally. I'm like, is he about to hold her hair? He's just patting her back, rubbing her back. He goes, hey, you know what? We're almost there. Like, just drop us off. Finish, like, end the ride on your account so that you get paid for it and we can, like, tip you and review you. We'll leave a 5-star, but just, like, you don't want to get into downtown. It's crazy. You don't want to be driving in front of the stadium throwing up out of your window.
No.
Like, we can make it there. It's fine. She's like, really? Are you sure? He goes, yeah, of course. Whatever.
So wait, you guys were dropped off on the side of the street? Just like...
Yeah. I look at Dylan. I'm like, so we're close? And he goes, I honestly have no idea where we are.
Perfect.
Yeah. He's like so confident. He goes, we're almost there. He brings up on his phone, 18-minute walk away.
And it's hot.
It's hot. I was wearing jeans.
It's fucking hot outside.
My thighs? Are you joking? It's not like good jean material. It's like Wild Fable from Target.
No, that's not good.
No, it's not good. I try and call another Uber. They're not going to pick us up. They're going to make $2 off of us.
No.
Because like car, we'll get there in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
It was literally like a $3 Lyft ride. So like 2 picked up, both canceled. And I'm like, guess we're walking. Yeah. I had so much sweat and like my jean tummy lining.
And then you got to sit in the baseball game.
Yep.
Nice.
Yeah,
Perfect.
I think that's why I drank so much. I was like, I need a drink to forget that all of that just happened.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, and then after that I got sick. So that was like the last event. Got sick, started feeling a little bit better, got even more sick.
I'm wondering if there is a page somewhere on Facebook of like wild lift rides.
If there is, we have to submit.
There's got to be. Like the flight attendants have a page where we just are ratchet as hell. I won't say what it's called, but
no, we don't.
It exists.
We're not rats. We're not a rat. Yeah. So honestly, like in the 2 weeks, that was the most exciting event. I was sick the rest of it. He was sick. We were dying. Made breakfast. Bought a waffle maker. That was cool.
Bought a waffle maker. That's a highlight.
Maker. Yeah. So baseball game, waffle maker. That's pretty much it.
Pretty much it.
Yeah. Jenna's birthday was a thing. That was fun. But like,
you weren't even drinking because you didn't feel good.
Exactly. So I'm like, get me home. Get me home.
Well, I'm happy you're back.
I still have a cough. So like if I have to, I'm sick. Don't get mad.
We'll forgive you.
Yeah. I forgot my tissues upstairs last time.
Oh man, those were good.
I know. I brought them on Wednesday.
Those were good.
Yeah. But how was your 2 weeks? I know they were more exciting than mine.
I went to Cabo. It was fun. I went with my crazy friends who all went to college together, and I did not go to college, so I didn't learn.
She said, I didn't get that college experience.
I did not have a degree in Adderall, no sleep. Unfortunately, I tried to keep up. Okay. I really did my best.
I saw the videos of you dancing. You tried your damnedest.
I tried my damnedest. Okay.
Yeah.
There is a limit to, there's a science from when I have to start drinking to how long I will last drinking. Okay?
You know, those things that, do you remember when we should read those one day where it's like, if there's anything about Amber, it's or whatever. What was that?
God, we have a whole list. One thing about Amber.
So one thing about Amber is that she will be in bed on vacation by 10 p.m.
It's what makes me happy.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's fine.
I want to be so fun during the day.
Yeah.
If I want to be fun, there's a checklist. Okay. Can't get too drunk.
No. Gotta eat. Hydration.
Once every 3 hours.
Yeah.
So much water. There's gotta be a bathroom within sight because I'm gonna have to pee.
Oh my God. That was the worst part of California when we went. We had to walk, not the last time, but the time before that with Bree.
Oh my God.
When we had to walk to that.
Yes.
No, wait, that was the last time when we had to walk to that ratchet ass bathroom.
Yes. We have pictures
that was the last
of it.
time we went.
Yeah, that was last time.
Maybe I'll post it.
Bathrooms have been an issue.
I'll block out
getting
my
older, but I'm sure it's only going to get worse. So we have that to look forward to. But yeah, my friends, they're insane. We danced on a boat, got drunk every day, stayed out late, met some guys who took us to like the most extravagant, expensive dinner I've ever experienced.
Yeah, explain that.
It was crazy. This restaurant was insanely expensive. These guys were like from Syria. They were super rich, so generous, so nice.
And it's so great that they weren't creepy.
They weren't creepy at all.
That was like waste management.
They literally were just like, we want to hang out. We want to have a good time. Yeah.
Yeah.
We want to hang out. We want to have a good time. Like, you guys are welcome to come to dinner with us. We had no idea what to expect.
We took our own ride. What they did for a living?
I know that the guy who paid for dinner runs like a surgery department in somewhere in California.
Like a surgery center?
He's like the head of
that's nuts.
Robotics and surgery in some hospital. I don't remember. I was a little bit tippy at that
Should have gotten his number.
He's married. He was actually showing us pictures of his wife.
Not like in a sexy way. And like a, hey, if I need Botox in between my eyebrows way.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, that's not surgery. So.
Okay.
I'm sure you can figure it out.
I'm like thinking, surgery in California is Botox and filler.
Listen,
that's my definition.
Far off.
Of surgery.
It's a BBL. It's Botox.
It's the same thing.
It's the same thing.
What's the difference?
At this point, I'm wondering, why can't we just put our fat into our lips? I don't know if that's a thing.
I feel like you can.
You feel like you can?
I feel like you can.
We're going to look that up. We're going to fact check that.
Hey, Don't listen to us. We're not doctors. I'm like, I think you could just take out your fat from your tummy and inject it into your lips.
In a perfect life,
It sounds real.
it sounds like it would make more sense than putting chemicals into our face, but who
Right?
am I?
And who
And
am
who
I?
are we?
I'm not a doctor.
We're not
I'm not a
docs.
medical professional.
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 But anyways, this dinner was crazy. We'll put a video up probably. The
Yeah.
servers made us stand on top of the chairs and dance. And it was
And
like a nice
you
place.
freaking boogied.
Like the fabric on the chairs looked expensive. I was like, "Are you sure? I'm wearing heels." And they were like, "Get up, get up, get up." And then
They,
were
like, do it
handing
every
us
night.
fire. No, they do. Yeah.
yeah.
They were handing us fire, like crazy sparklers, like the ones that like look like a sprinkler,
Like in a club.
like in the club, like the bottle girls. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like everybody in the restaurant was a
Blow
bottle
the
girl.
whistle. Mm.
That was the vibe. Blow the whistle. And they played Sweet Caroline, and like it was like a music video.
It's not Sweet Caroline.
It was. That's why I picked the song for the slideshow.
Sweet Caroline.
Yeah, and everybody in that place. Ba, ba, ba.
Because everyone knows that.
Exactly, and it was hype. It was
Yeah.
hype. But he ordered like 7 appetizers for the table. Like it was crazy. 2
That's my dream.
tomahawks that were on fire.
No, that's all I care
dinner,
about on
shots.
vacation.
He ordered 2 bottles of the clear tequila, the one with the bell on top. What's that? Ding.
Yeah.
Casa Azul.
Casa Azul.
I think. I don't know what it was, but
Blue House, if
Oh.
you will.
I took shots. Multiple shots.
It's like pulling teeth to get you to take a shot.
Cabo Amber is a different
What
amber.
the
It's because I wanted to look cool in front of my friends. I
No,
don't know.
obviously.
Yeah. Well, they were like at a level 16 the whole time. And I was like,
Yeah. They're like, we have 3 days to do this. Let's fucking get it.
no, they did not sleep. And I was home alone in the Airbnb twice because I was like, I have to go to bed.
I panic when I don't sleep.
Me
That's like the
too.
worst thing to me.
And then the next day I'd be absolutely useless. So
No,
we have to go to Cabo together.
1000%. I haven't been to Cabo since I was 18. I got sun poisoning day 1. I was
Yeah.
a freaking rickay. Nobody was looking out for me.
I don't even think I got a tan in Cabo.
That's nuts.
I really don't. Because I'm like
SPF
so,
100.
well, and I'm like so cautious that I was like,
yeah.
when we were walking to the boat, I was wearing a long sleeve. And then
Yeah.
after we like swam and did the boat, I like spent the rest of the time in the shade.
Well, yeah, because nothing will fuck you up truly like the sun does.
Yeah. Like I spent all this money to go on vacation. I'm not going to be
I'm going to be in pain.
in pain and sun
No.
poisoned. No. So
Are you supposed to go to the pharmacia
also
and get some aloe?
No, they spent all their money on Adderall. So that's
So
what
you're
we're-
definitely not getting aloe.
we're not getting aloe. It's only Addy. Addy first, aloe second. Chaw feel?
How I feel, homie.
Chaw definitely.
Chaw definitely. Yeah.
But 10 out of 10, recommend getting all of your girly friends, taking a trip to Cabo. It was fun. It was a good time. I was very much out of my comfort zone, but
That's okay.
yeah,
Because you had fun.
it was fun. It was fun. And then we came back here, recorded an episode. It got ruined.
And here we are today.
Take 2.
Went to Blanco, ate yummy food,
Yeah.
listened to the audio. Was it yesterday? I woke up at 6 a.m. to like publish it. And then I was like,
It was yesterday. Yeah. Because I was on airport standby.
Yeah.
And you were talking about it.
Yeah. I said,
Mm-mm.
this ain't gonna work.
We ready?
Yeah.
Let's get into it. What are we
All right.
talking about?
We're talking about how do we just like encompass all of this? Kind of like ex relationships, but
Yeah, we're gonna talk about X. Let's talk about X, baby.
let's
Let's
talk about
you and your shitty ex.
yeah.
Okay, we're not gonna just like
no, I'm not
say
gonna
shitty
shit on.
ex.
Yeah, that was me.
Because like we also are gonna talk about some good stuff.
we're gonna try.
We're gonna try
I'm gonna try really hard.
the lessons we've learned in past relationships. Okay. To be real, what are we doing if we're not taking whatever fucked up situation happened to us and making it a good thing, right?
Bitch, that is growth.
What are we doing if we're not doing it? I've known plenty of people who have gone from one relationship to the next, done the same
Mhm.
exact
Acting
thing
the
to the
same.
next,
And
acting
being
the
like,
same.
why is nothing changing?
Yeah,
It's
why
like,
does
'cause
nobody Yeah.
You're either one, picking the same type of person, or number two, you're just leading your relationship in the same way you always have.
Right.
Something's not working.
Right.
2
And
plus
like,
2 equals what?
you could have a type and pick semi the same type of person, but that person also has to be somebody who's learned from their last person.
1000%.
And if you guys have a connection, great.
Yeah.
However, if you're not taking what you messed up and what they messed up and putting it into there, it's literally a waste of your time.
It's a waste of time.
Waste of time. So yeah, we want to talk about stuff that we learned and good things and bad things and stuff that traumatized us.
I went to spin this morning, so I have endorphins still. I feel like I'm like, let's freaking get it. It's daylight. We're sober. We're doing pool day after this. What a beautiful day.
I know. Oh my God.
What?
And what? Okay, nothing is better. I know. I don't know if anybody has like an on-call job like I do, but like I'm getting paid right now. And there have only been like maybe 3 occasions, maybe 3, where I've had an on-call shift and I haven't got called. So like this morning,
called every single time.
Every single time. So this morning I was like reading my book and having my coffee in my own apartment, and I just was like,
"This is zen."
There is almost nothing better.
You're reading The Boyfriend.
Yeah,
it's so good.
It's so good. I didn't have a bookmark, so I like spent a little time scratching through trying to figure out where I was, but it is getting crazy.
You gotta text me when you read the end of it, because it's like, phew.
I know I'm gonna catch up soon.
Anyways.
Oh, okay. So I wanted to start with
what you want to hit on?
I want to hit on okay, this is like my favorite thing actually. I'm gonna start with this. So I have lived with 3 of my partners.
Okay.
I'm going to preface with I moved out of my house when I was 15.
Yeah.
So like the first time I lived with a boy was when I was literally 17, which sounds insane, but like
it's the life you lived.
It is what it is. Yeah. So I was in high school, like senior year, and my boyfriend and I got an apartment together, and it was me, him, his little brother, and his mom. So like we all lived together. Okay. And I remember like that being complicated. One, because like his mom lived there, which we were like besties, so it was fine. Yeah. But I remember feeling like a little bit of shock because you have like a home now, right? And it's like laundry, toilet paper, toothpaste. There's like so much mental load that like immediately gets spit out onto us.
Yeah.
And I feel like I don't want to say most men because it's not even necessarily, but I feel like there's always one partner who understands mental load more than the other person.
Agreed.
So like if you're living with somebody, one person's definitely going to be like, during the day, they're going to be like, oh, I remember we're out of laundry soap. Or, oh, I remember we're out of this.
Yes.
Or the floors need to be cleaned.
Yeah. Like more self-aware.
Yeah. Just
and not in like a rude
like
way.
No.
Just like very aware.
Yeah. Like some people are just the kind of people who will like go to brush their teeth and it's empty and they'll be like, ah, shit.
Dylan.
Yeah. And then they'll have to like go to the store right then and there.
Yeah.
Me, I'm like, I never want to run out of anything.
Baby, I got backups on backups.
I have a whole box under my sink of just backups.
So do I.
Lotion,
toothpaste,
face lotion, toothpaste.
Extra toothbrushes.
And if one runs out, I bring the backup up and you bet your ass I'm going to the store that week and buying something else.
I bought an extra backup to put in Dylan's house because I already had a backup toothpaste to my toothpaste.
And that's just who we are.
Yeah. And I accidentally bought another one. And I said, oh, I didn't realize I already had a backup. Give it to Dylan. Yeah. Thank God I did. Because I get there, we're going to bed and he's trying to squeeze the toothpaste out and he goes, baby.
Wait, isn't that the best feeling?
It's not good. I'm like, it's not good. What? And he goes, I think I can get like a little bit out, but like, I don't think there's going to be enough for both of us to brush our teeth in the morning.
How good is that feeling when you're like, look under the sink?
Yeah. I said,
got it. Check. Got it. Whole point of the story is I've lived with a few partners, right? And like, instead of delegating that type of thing, I just get frustrated and we fight about it because I'm like, you never do this, or you never think about this, or I'm the only person who's making a grocery list, or I'm the only person who's doing this, whatever.
And that's a lot. Because you're like, I'm doing it for me and also for you.
And then you kind of build resentment because it's like, I'm not the only person that's living here.
It's exciting at first. At first you're like, oh my gosh, like I look so good. Like I'm doing what I do, but like for this other person, like they get to see all these qualities in me.
It feels good to take care of your partner.
And then resentment ensues.
Correct.
Yeah.
And like
Correct.
it seems so little until you like get there, and then it just builds and builds and builds and builds. And I learned like this was like the biggest thing for me, and I don't know why. I think it's just because mental load is like really frustrating.
Yeah.
But when I moved in with Baker, before we even decided to get an apartment together, I said, look, these are the things that I don't mind doing and I'm never going to ask you to do. And these are things that I do expect you to do, and I don't ever want to have to ask you to do them.
Which
I
are what?
need you to just do them. I don't want to take out the trash.
Okay.
Ever.
Fair.
I don't want to put away the laundry. Ever.
Interesting.
I don't necessarily even want to do the laundry. I will do it,
Yeah.
but I don't want to put it away.
Interesting. Okay.
And I told him, I said, I'm never going to ask you to clean the bathroom.
No. You won't do
he
it
takes
right.
out the bathroom trash and he reloads things like toilet paper and fresh towels and stuff like that. But I was like, I know you're not going to clean the baseboards. I know you're not.
I know you're not going to get that bathroom spray out and sponge out the sink.
You're not going to do it right.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, these are the things I'm never going to ask you to do. So like delegating house things, and everybody's going to be different, right? Everybody's going to be different. And he also like half-asses the dishes. So I'm like,
I have seen that.
He half-asses the dishes.
He's a boy. Dylan does too.
So I told him like, that was something later that I learned. So I'm like, you can load the dishwasher and run the dishwasher, but
don't be hand washing.
Don't hand wash those dishes and then put them in the dishwasher to dry.
No.
They're not clean.
Literally no.
They're not clean.
No.
So now I have to be like, hey, these dishes are clean. I clean them. They're in the dishwasher. Can you put them away? Putting away the dishes, I don't want to do it either.
Fair.
So
you're cleaning them.
Big lesson, which sounds silly and dumb, but if you have that conversation before you live with somebody, like, hey, let's talk about this now, especially if this is like if you're going to have a kid.
Oh,
that's like a big delegating.
Absolutely.
Delegating house chores.
Yes.
And also just like errands, stuff like that. It needs to be talked about before. I never used to do that. And
I've never done that. I didn't do that with I've only lived with one significant other, and it was like 6 years already into our relationship.
Yeah, because you don't think about that stuff.
No, it was literally 6 years in our relationship, and he moved in to the place I was already living in. We never had that conversation. He would... It's like, I don't want to sit here and talk shit, but like there were things that he was good at. Loved going to the grocery store.
You can roast.
Yeah, loved making meals and stuff. But like, I think that in like the 2.5 years we lived together, like he would get random spouts of energy where like that's when he would clean house.
Yeah.
And I can name on one hand how many times that happened in 2.5 years.
That many years, yeah.
Like I remember one time specifically, it was COVID. I was still working. He wasn't. I came home from work and he was like vacuuming and doing the floors. And I said, wow, that's crazy. But like...
Isn't that sad?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
I remember one time.
And then you get resentful and you're like, oh, you're only doing that because...
I broke my ankle and I wasn't working because I couldn't. I was in my walking boot learning how to walk again. And I was in the backyard standing in rocks on this like platform thing, cutting our bushes because he also didn't ever do yard work situation.
Insane.
Like our landlord came over and was like, you need to clean this up. You either have to do it or hire someone to do it. And I was like, well,
I guess I have to do it.
I guess I have to do it. And so
because that
I did
other person isn't even going to think about it.
No.
How irritating is that?
It was never going to work.
But here is our point is like, maybe they like some people's brains just don't operate the same.
Mine
so this is why you have
to
have that conversation.
When Jen and I lived together, I was not that person. She would be like, there was a literal conversation between us. And she's like, dude, there's spots all over the floor. Like living with a sibling is like so hard. It's so hard. I told her we could never live together again because I like her now.
Yeah.
I said, we're friends now. We were not friends when we lived together, but we had an actual conversation where she said, do you not see like all the spots on the floor that are dirty? I said, I don't look down when I walk. Straight up what I said. Swear to God, that was an actual conversation we had.
Imagine your boyfriend saying that to you. No.
Fucking lights out.
Literally.
Yeah. Yeah. I said that.
Yeah.
It wasn't until...
That's not sexy.
No. It wasn't until Jenna moved out, X moved in that I was like,
oh. Yeah, see?
So I guess if I learned anything, that helped.
That would
alter
be
the
that.
person that I am. Because I am
Thanks,
very
Jenna.
much so type B. You know that.
Oh, yeah.
But when it comes to certain things, I am type A. Like the having backups to things, having things clean when I go to bed. Like
Yeah.
when I wake up, I want to wake up to a clean house. I want everything. I want to put my house to bed at night and I want to wake up anew.
But like during the day, you'll walk over lunch meat and it's fine.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, oh, there's 3 $5 bills on the ground that at some point
And
I
I'm
should pick
gonna
up.
walk by them every
Yeah.
time
Oh yeah,
until you're going to bed.
until I'm going to bed. I'm like,
Yeah, you're so weird.
yeah, I know.
One thing about Ashlyn, we're gonna read
We'll
that
do
list
it. We'll
'cause
get into
is
that.
So funny. That's like the same, like picking your battles in general. I remember
Yeah.
with my most recent ex-boyfriend, we were together 5 years, and I feel like once I like got resentment built up,
Mm-hmm.
I was irritated about everything.
Yeah.
Didn't matter
You
what
were.
it was. Didn't matter how many times he did it.
Yeah.
And I would just nag and nag and nag and nag. And that affects everything. Like that affects intimacy, sex. It affects everything. Like you don't want to be around me.
Your
I don't want to be around
day-to-day.
you.
Yeah.
So,
We're supposed to be like homies, lovers, and friends. And now I feel like you're just mad at me all the time.
and I feel like, and I remember even feeling like, why would you want to be around me? I'm being psycho right now. You know?
Yeah.
You ever felt like that?
No, I'm a perfect angel. I've never felt like that.
Okay. Dude, there are
No, I'm
times
sure I did.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
sure.
you're like, never. Why would anyone want to ever leave me?
Yeah, never.
Which is true. Yeah, like I am perfect, but like I was being hella annoying. But it was only
Yeah.
because you were being annoying.
Yeah.
So
Exactly. My thing is that I've only lived with one person. So
Yeah.
it's like we haven't in my last
even when
relationship.
you're not living with them.
Yeah. It was like there were different ways of fighting.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. Like there were different ways of me being like, oh, that's why we had that fight. And like, I know I'm not a perfect angel. And there were, in the last relationship that I had, it was like me not wanting to commit to that person. And that was the fight, you know? And I'm like, oh, I would understand why you never want to be around me because every time we have this conversation, I get upset about it.
And didn't you feel like he didn't know how to pick his battles?
Never.
Exactly.
It was always a fight. We fought every single
all the time about everything.
You witnessed it multiple times.
Yeah.
When you were with us.
And I feel like when you're with somebody who you like really want to make sure that everything, stays zen and correctly, and you guys don't get that resentment, like
Yeah.
you learn to pick your battles.
Yeah.
Like there are things that might irritate you, but you're like, is this important enough to make a big deal out of?
I have definitely learned that in this relationship with Dylan.
Right?
I'm like, and that's where I'm like,
You have, because sometimes
Yeah.
you'll even text me and you're like,
oh yeah.
help me process this.
Yeah.
And
I
that's like
process this with
huge.
you.
Yes.
Because if I go to him and just like say something, I'm going to regret it. And it's not going to be a good conversation.
Every time you say something out loud to me,
Yeah.
sometimes I don't even have to reply. Sometimes
Yeah.
you're like,
That's true. That's
sometimes you're
actually
like,
very true.
wait a minute. Or you're like
I'm like, oh,
saying it out
that's
loud
what that
or
sounds
texting
like.
it. Right.
Yeah.
And then you're like, okay, wait, I kind of just figured this out. And I've done that to you multiple times.
Yeah.
I'm like,
We'll send like ... No, I get it now.
and we've literally said like,
Yeah.
I'm being irrational right now.
Yeah.
Help me.
Help.
But I did not do that with my ex-boyfriend. I would pop off immediately.
Yeah. I mean, you would.
Yeah.
And you would text me and be like, yeah, I'm annoyed. We just got in a fight.
After.
And I'm like,
I would text you after.
yeah.
And be like, we're fighting again.
Yeah.
Because
Even like at the start of you and Baker's relationship, you would text me after or call me and be like, I don't know what just happened.
yeah. Well, I was trying to sabotage that relationship in the beginning.
Yeah.
It was
Fair.
bad. Yeah.
That's what I thought I was trying to do in my last relationship and like why I couldn't just decide to commit. I'm like, I'm probably driving this person crazy because
Yeah.
every time we have the conversation of like, I mean, that relationship was very like back and forth.
Toxic.
Like I was in, he was out. He was in, I was out. We were both kind of just like neutral and then we both jumped in and then I was like, yeah, maybe not. And like, I always thought internally, like, I don't know, maybe I'm just trying to sabotage it because I got hurt in my last relationship. But like, obviously now we know better. Like
Now we know. We've learned.
it wasn't the relationship to be in. However, I would try and find a balance between being like the cool girl and like not getting mad or upset with knowing that I have like valid reasons to
That
be
is like
upset.
such a good point to bring up of like the difference of like you trying to like be that person for that person,
Yeah.
which now you're like picking your battles is different
Yes.
than that.
Exactly.
Because I have done that too.
Yeah.
Like I need to chill out and I need to pretend like I'm not mad. This is very Sex in the City. Like, oh, I'm gonna
it's giving Sex in the City.
It is.
Yes.
It's giving Carrie. Like
it's giving Carrie.
She's like feeling one type of thing, but she's like, I will absolutely never let him know how I'm feeling.
Yeah,
that's
all
not
of
what
her
we're saying.
internal thoughts.
Yeah, that's not what we're saying.
No.
Picking your battles is completely different. Like I remember I used to be so scared in my last relationship. My ex drank a lot. He would drop off the face of the earth. He would
Yep.
get hammered.
Yep.
Like every time he drank or every time he went to hang out with his friends, I would be absolutely terrified.
Mhm. Same.
Like, is he going to be okay?
Is he
So,
going to
like,
cheat on me?
Right. So this is like
That was
all
mine.
this is all kicking in,
Yeah.
right? So then at the very beginning of my relationship, every time like Baker wanted to do something,
Mhm.
I would have to like breathe and chill out. And I'm like, I'm not going to freak out right now.
Like going to like poker night or what?
Yeah,
Yeah,
like even
like
stuff
that.
like that.
Yeah.
Or like I'm staying after for a drink after work or whatever. It would like fully trigger me.
Same.
And that was like one of your pick your battles. Like chill out for a sec.
Mhm. This
Give
is a
him
completely
space,
different person.
Give him trust. This is a completely different person.
Yeah. Like what did you say? Don't punish the new person for the last person's mistakes. Or
I had
triggers.
to like
Yeah.
repeat that to myself
Yeah.
so many times at the start of this relationship. Like
So did I.
it's kind of crazy how much you have to grow to make something work because
Mhm.
and he even had to tell me that like you're making me feel bad over things that your ex did.
Damn.
And I'm like that's
some
so true
that's
though.
some real shit though.
But like to have a partner that's able to like stand up for himself and say that like
yeah, and communicate that.
Yeah, it's a big deal because all of this stuff that was wrong with my last relationship, I was letting it project, and it takes a lot of patience to like
absolutely
hold on,
Yeah.
think about it.
Well, and I agree because like in the start of mine and Dylan's relationship, like there would be times where I'm like, oh, he's lying to me because
Yeah.
that's all the
That's
last
all we
one
know.
did. That's all he did. You know, like, oh yeah, I got drunk and went home and passed out. No, you got drunk downtown. You tried to hook up with someone. I'm
going to find out about this later. Essentially.
Yeah. You stayed the night with another girl and then told me 6 months later when my best friend found out and told me. True story. So it's like, yeah, like when Dylan would be like, oh, so like there were times where Dylan would just fall asleep.
Like literally fall asleep.
And it was like when we first started dating. And like, I have never met someone who honestly can fall asleep as quick as this man does.
Yeah.
I watched him wake up, brush his teeth, lay back in bed, fall back asleep, wake up, change
Wild.
clothes, lay on the couch, start to fall back asleep, wake back up. And it was like a 7-minute period. And I'm like, once he did that, I was like, oh, those were not lies.
No, you actually
Before.
fell
That's what you
asleep.
do. Like there was one time there were multiple times where I heard from him at like 6 p.m. and then not again until the next morning at like 10 a.m.
Yeah.
I'm like, did you die? He goes, no, like I smoked a little bit of a joint. I got super high. I was playing video games. I fell asleep, you know?
Yeah.
And I would text Amber and be like, he's lying.
Yeah.
He's lying.
Well, and it's like immediate anxiety because
I'm like, you died or you're cheating on me. They're one of the two.
Yeah.
There's no other option.
our brain has been wired to feel that way.
Oh yeah.
But then when you find somebody who you actually like want to believe in, and you like have to find patience,
like
and you have to find it. It's
those
crazy.
are the things that like I would punish him for because in his like his mind, he's like, I just fell asleep. Like my bad. I'm so sorry. Like it just happened.
Yeah.
And in my brain, it's like a direct like
trauma response.
Yeah, trauma response. Because I'm like, oh, the last time someone did this, they were cheating on me. The last time someone did this, they were mad at me and trying to punish me because they were mad at me and they were giving me the silent treatment. Like, what did I do wrong?
Right.
And that's how the ex was. We would get in a fight and I just wouldn't know when I would hear from him next. Like, that was the craziest thing. I just wouldn't know. There were like 2 weeks that went by that I'm like, well, I guess we're not seeing each other. And then he texts me like, Happy Valentine's Day. I'm like, what?
This makes no sense.
What do you mean? Like, also true story.
True story.
So with Dylan, when that time came around, I was like, I'm mad at you that you fell asleep. Like, that's crazy.
Oh my God. I've been mad.
That's
like, I'm
crazy.
like, why am I mad? And then we would like talk about it.
Mhm.
And I'm like, that's
Trauma response.
trauma response.
Yeah.
And then you have to be like, okay, next time this happens, remember this, remember how it felt.
Well, and like internally, I would try and process it and be like, okay, well, like, you know, if he is cheating on me, like, then it is what it is. And like, I'm not that deep in this relationship yet, you know, or I'd be like, well,
You had 6 hours to think about it and process it.
oh, longer
He
than
was
that.
just sleeping.
It was like 12 hours.
And then the next morning, he's like, hey, sorry.
hey, I'm so sorry, love. I fell asleep.
And then,
Like,
of
my
course,
bad.
you're pissed.
He's like, I didn't even eat dinner. And I'm
Yeah.
like, there's no way. And then when I got to know him better, I'm like, oh, no, I've been there to witness that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. No, we've been together. He's fallen asleep at 6 p.m. and it's like 9. And if I hadn't woken him up, he would sleep all through the night.
Yeah.
Wakes up dehydrated, confused, different time zone. He's like,
What city am I in?
what's going on? I'm like, so
Literally.
you're cheating on me. He's like, what the fuck? And then I try and like rationalize in my brain, like, oh, well, he lives with his brother and his friends. So like, for sure, I would know if he was cheating on me. Someone would say something. And it's like, no, he's just not cheating on me.
He's just not.
He's just not doing that.
He's not doing that.
And it's still a year later. It'll be 9 months tomorrow since
Yeah.
we like first actually.
I feel like I'm so proud of you though, because I
Thank
did a
you.
lot worse at the beginning of Baker and I than you did at the beginning. I feel like at the beginning
Yeah.
of you and Dylan, I think maybe you had more time to like
Yeah.
heal and process it.
Yeah.
And you were a lot more patient. Like I was
didn't
not.
date someone for like a year.
If it was anyone
More.
but Baker, they would have left me
Yeah, probably.
easily.
Probably.
Like bless his heart for being
Yeah.
patient, because I
Yeah.
was just like,
well, and I
so
always knew how
terrified.
much he loved you because there were like 2 times where he called me and was like, I love this girl so much. Like, how do I get through to her and have this conversation to
I was
where she'll
sabotaging everything.
respond in a positive way? I remember being at like my grandma's house on the phone with him being like, okay, let's talk through this. Cause he's like, I just want to be there for her and communicate and learn why she feels this way, what in her past made her feel this way, and how to not punish me with it.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
He is like 0.00000% toxic.
I said, hello?
Hello, who is this man?
What?
And then I came from like the
Broken.
most toxic.
Yeah.
And I was toxic.
Yeah. We both were.
So like every time we like wouldn't fight or we like wouldn't have aggressive sex, I'd be
Yeah.
like, are we boring? Like, I don't really like him.
Do we
I think I don't like
actually
him.
like each other?
Yeah. I was
Yeah.
like, are we lame?
Yeah.
And you're like, no, you're just not fighting.
Yeah. You just aren't in a fight.
I remember one time I literally was crying at Baker and I was like, we never fight. And he was like, are you?
Yeah. Do you want to fight?
Yeah. He was like, are you serious? Like, do you understand what you're saying right now? And I'm like, I don't know. I just feel like something's wrong. And he's like, there's nothing wrong. And we had like a conversation about passion, which is like another
Yeah.
big misconception.
Yes.
Because I'm like, well, there's no passion. And he's like, no, we're just not fighting.
Yeah. There's a difference between passion and hate sex.
Like literally.
like
No.
I'm mad at you. Let's just have sex.
No, like, but I was like,
Yeah.
I kind of miss it. And then I'm
Yeah.
like, what is wrong
Like, what
with
am I
me?
saying?
What am I saying?
Yeah.
So like learning how to find peace in a relationship is surprisingly hard for
Yeah.
a lot of people.
Yeah. And
So-
I was like from the side of it where like I didn't have passionate sex with anyone because we were mad at each other. I was like, actually don't fucking touch me.
yeah.
Like truly anger in my soul. And then I would just get really sad. And then I was conditioned to think the only way I'm going to get attention is if I'm upset about something. Like there were times where like I knew what I was doing.
Yeah.
I knew exactly what I was saying to
We
get
do.
the response that I wanted. I want you to feel bad for me.
Yep.
I'm the one who's upset. I'm going to start crying. And then this fight is going to end because you're not going to fight with me when I'm crying. It was literally,
They don't know what to do when you start crying.
no.
And like I have the opposite problem. I can't, like, even if I don't want to cry, it just falls
comes out of
of
your
my
face.
eyeballs.
Yeah.
It's so
I
frustrating.
remember I had a trauma response of with my ex, anytime we would fight, he would just leave. He would just leave. You remember that? We were
Yep.
at a bar.
Yep.
And he just left.
Get up and leave. Like,
He
I
would
don't want to do it.
just get in his car and left. That happened twice that I can even remember. It happened once at my apartment. We were fighting. He was like, why don't you want to like define us? Like, you don't want to claim me. You don't introduce me to your people. And I'm like,
You wonder why.
interesting.
Interesting.
Got like literally put his shoes on to leave. And I just started crying. And then he sat back down. So like my trauma response is like, anytime we get in a fight, you're going to leave me.
Yeah.
So when Dylan and I first started dating, I'm like, I can't get in a fight with him because he's not going to want to put up with me and he's going to just leave. So I learned from Dylan, like, oh wait, actually, no, he cares. He's not going to leave. Just be like the amount of times.
Calm.
Yeah. The amount of times that man had to sit me down and be like, I'm not just going to leave because you're upset. I'm going to talk about this because you're upset.
Right.
And I'm like, what do you mean?
Like we've slowly learned how to communicate instead of argue.
Yeah.
And communicate instead of fight. And communicate instead of leave. Or communicate instead of cry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like, oh, I don't have to just cry to get attention.
Right. Because if somebody actually gives a shit and they want to know what's wrong, they're just going to communicate with you.
What a concept.
But honestly though,
yeah.
How did we not know that?
I don't know. I've never truly, and I'm not just like blowing smoke up his ass, I have never been in such a healthy relationship.
Yeah, I agree. I
sit back and I'm like, what the fuck is going on? What did I do to deserve this? In like a good way.
In a good way. So shout out to all of our exes that taught us some shit.
Yeah, Amber tried to get me to say something positive that an ex had taught me.
I was like, should we like bring up one positive?
Well, because okay, what would your positive be?
Okay, the only thing I could think of was like one of my exes was like very close to his family, and he was very big on prioritizing his family.
Mm-hmm.
And I have one sister, and neither of my parents.
A different way.
Yeah, neither of my parents are in my life. I have no grandparents, no aunts, uncles. So like it's never really been a thought.
No, you had a different childhood completely.
And like my sister and I are closer than we've ever been. And like she lives in Albuquerque and we talk once every 2 weeks. Like that's pretty much how it has been. And so like he kind of taught me to have a soft spot. Like family is important.
Like more sensitive to it.
More sensitive to it. More like conscious of it, I guess. So that's like the only thing I could really think of.
Yeah.
And like, I don't regret any of my relationships. I really don't.
I don't either. They all taught me something. Yeah. But I'm like,
my
in a roundabout bad way.
Yeah. Like I would have never been as adventurous sexually if it wasn't for my most recent ex.
Okay.
Like he really brought out the comfortability of like doing weird shit.
I love that.
Thank you.
So like, thanks for that.
Thanks for that. It was fun while it lasted.
Yeah. I know. Like I was honestly sitting back, like thinking about, because like I was trying to think like how many of my relationships I would consider like serious relationships, like that I spent time on. And I would say besides Dylan, like 3.
Yeah.
Maybe, and like one was high school. It was
that's like pretty normal for somebody
it was like
age,
2 years of like my high school career that I dedicated to that person.
Mm-hmm.
The other one lasted for 10 years and the last one was on and off for like another 2 years.
Which wasn't even ever like your boyfriend.
Established. Nobody ever knew about him besides like my close people.
Weird.
Thank God. That was mean. But I mean, there was a reason I didn't introduce him to my people.
You knew subconsciously the whole time.
Subconsciously, I knew.
So now you know to like look for those signs.
Yeah, which is hilarious because
so like technically all of it's positive lessons.
Yeah,
even though it was
like I learned how to communicate because of how my ex and I did not communicate. I learned how to treat someone and be sensitive to their feelings because my ex never really did that for me.
Mm-hmm.
Like I learned certain things like that. Like even like the sexual like side of it, like I wouldn't even like give that up to them. I would give it up to me to like internally like learn to be comfortable with myself and like learn like it's okay to ask for what I want. It's okay to like not pretend that this feels good when it fucking doesn't.
Right.
Like I give that up to like honestly you because like you taught me that shit, So you're welcome. So like, even then it's like, I had good, like positive sexual experiences for sure. But like, I've never had better sex in my life besides like right now.
Yeah.
And I'm like, good on you, Dill.
Good on you, Dill.
Good on you. But like everything else, I'm like, yeah, that was like good, but like this is the best. And I think Dylan's taught me way more like positive things in life.
Yeah.
In a positive way, rather than learning them because I wasn't receiving something from someone else.
Yeah, I agree.
That makes sense?
I agree. Yeah. There's just the whole point of this whole conversation is like valuing things even if they're negative, like bringing the negative into the positive. And like obviously, hopefully wherever anyone is, they're working on the most healthy relationship they've ever had.
Yeah.
And hopefully they're using all of those tools that they learned.
Yeah. Which I think, I mean, we were kind of hitting on it before we even started the episode, like writing down little notes and trying to like go through it with each other. And you had said, you know, like you've said this whole time, bringing the the positives of what you learned in your last relationship and your new one and forming you into a different person because of what you learned in your past. Because I mean,
I'm a completely different, I honestly can't even say like I've been married before.
Yeah,
and I can't.
Okay.
We haven't even touched on I can't ever really say that I've been truthfully, I can't ever truthfully say I've been a good partner. I really can't.
That's crazy. That's some like self-aware shit.
It is. Like with my ex-husband, I was 20 when we met, 21 when we got married. I was not a good partner. I don't think I understood like what it took to be in a relationship. And I kind of just was like, I want to feel good in this. Yeah. And then if I didn't feel good in this, I was like, whatever, I'm going to go find something that makes me feel good.
Bail out.
Straight on to the next one.
Yeah.
Every time I didn't feel good in that relationship, I was like, well, screw you. I'm going to go do something better. Or so on and so forth. Like, this is the first time in my life where I've been like selfless and aware.
Very self-aware. I've watched you form into a different person in a relationship for sure.
Even from the beginning. Like I was like, he's not giving me what I want. And I would just be so salty and rude. And I'm like, very much learning to be like, this person deserves so much. Yeah. And I want to be able to give it to them.
You were very much so like my way or the highway.
Oh my God. My ex-boyfriends used to say that to me all the time.
You're like, it's my life. So yeah.
And I cried about it all the time. Like I felt so guilty for being so selfish.
Yeah.
And I could never figure out like how to not be. I remember writing in notebooks. Mm-hmm. I wrote it multiple times. Like, be less selfish. Yeah. Be less selfish. Be less selfish. And
you had a different mindset though. Your mindset was like, this is my life and I'm going to do what I want. I'm going to say what I want. But in this relationship, you're like, this is the life we're living together. And this is how I want to lead our relationship because we are living it together. We're separate people, but we're experiencing it together and we need to make it the best it can be.
Yeah.
That's what's different.
Which is crazy. And I feel like kind of like a little part of me feels so bad for being like so mean and selfish.
Oh,
because I used to hear that all the time from my ex, like your way or the highway, and that's all it is for you. And I would just be so like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah. And now you look at it and you're like,
no, I really was.
Yeah.
And I feel like such an asshole.
Yeah.
And I mean, like those relationships didn't work out for multiple reasons.
Absolutely.
Obviously, but I'm actually like really proud.
I'm proud of you. I've told you that like multiple times. You know, I'm like, I'm so proud of you for how you've led this relationship because like you had to work to get there. And like,
but it didn't feel like
it didn't feel like work.
Yeah, it definitely feels like work, but choosing to like guide myself correctly because of all the mistakes has been like kind of eye-opening.
For sure.
Yeah. And I hope that I was listening to this and self-reflecting.
Yes. I was driving home from spin today and Amber was writing notes in our little like shared notes, like watching her like type everything. And I was like, well, I could add some things to this. And it's just like crazy to me that like our exes and we had different lives before them. Like, I was telling Amber that Dylan didn't even know what my ex, like the long, like 10-year ex even looked like. Yeah. Because he doesn't have social media. Like him and his mom and I still follow each other. when I see posts of him and like the person he cheated on me with and still with and whatever, like I don't have any feelings about it other than like, whoa, that's crazy. That was a time in my life.
I look back at pictures and I'm just like,
Who is that?
I mean, you hear about it when you're younger.
Yeah.
But like, I have phases of life.
Yeah.
Even especially you. Like, I feel like when I look at you, like, I'm like, that's my best friend.
Yeah.
But then I look at old pictures of you.
You're
Even
like,
when we were friends, like at the beginning.
That's a different person.
It was a different person.
That's what I'm saying. And like everyone is different with other people.
Yes.
Like I was different with the last ex. I was different with the one before that. And like Dylan doesn't know any of those people. Like he's met, a couple of people that I've dated for whatever.
We're like just as big of a like human and being that you are.
Yeah.
The person that you're spending your life with also had all of those things.
Like as much as I don't know about you in your past relationships, you also don't know about me. Like
that's why communication is so important.
Yes. Like I showed him a picture of my ex last night. Like we took a little edible. We were just like gossiping, being silly goofy. And I'm like, oh, this is him. And Dylan's just sitting there like, okay.
It's just weird.
Just taking it all in. And I'm like,
yeah,
like that. I dated that person for 10 years. How fucking nuts is that? And he's like, Dylan was married before. He had a whole ass wife.
Yeah.
You had a whole ass husband.
Weird.
And I'm like, I don't even know who that person is. Like, it's just blows my mind. And like, we're girlies and we like to do girly investigations.
We're curious.
And I think my boyfriend's hot. I love him.
Call me George. I don't know.
Yeah. I love him. I love his face. I love everything about him. I'm obsessed with him. And I went to his Instagram. Sometimes I just like scroll through his photos because I think he's a hottie toddy. And I think it's fun looking at his old photos. So I went to his tagged photos and there was like a new picture there that I'd never seen. And it was a picture of his ex. And I was like,
which you've met on accident.
Which I met on accident, which I will get to. Yeah, I was like, that's so crazy. And then like her stuff was public. So like, obviously
we're going to look.
If there's one thing about me, it's that I'm going to look.
It's one thing about every girl. Every girl.
I'm like, let me scroll through this shit. She seems like she's doing well.
Good for her. You're like, by the way, your ex is doing great.
Yeah.
I told him that. What?
Yeah. I said, she seems like she's doing really well. He's like, good for her.
Good. I know.
And like, totally doesn't want to talk about it. But I'm like, I don't give a shit. You're with me now. You're the love of my freaking life. Like, I don't care. But I was just looking through her stuff and I'm like, that's like, her and I seem so different that I'm like, you dated that person for like 2, like you lived with that person. And like, she just personality wise, look wise, like she just seems so different than me. And like, I don't know her. I'm not going to talk shit about her.
But you think about your ex and then Dylan.
Yes.
Completely
different person.
I can't even put my ex and my current in the same earth.
And like funny little story like that Amber kind of kickstarted. I was at work one day and
oh my God, this is so funny.
I was serving and we like made cuts, whatever. Someone was like, oh, hey, you have a patio table. It was the first like outside table I had of the entire day. I was like, okay, whatever. No one else wants to take it. I'll take it. I walk outside and it says 3 top and it's like a mom, a dad, and a daughter. I assumed. And I look at her. I'm like, she looks so familiar. Like, why does this person?
This was before the stalking, by the way.
Oh yeah, this was before because the stalking was yesterday. 2 days ago. This was like 6 months ago, probably.
Yeah.
And I just look. It was in January.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, this girl just looks so familiar. Why does she look so familiar? And I'm taking their orders and I'm just like, oh, whatever. Walk away, get drinks. And like, it hits me like a fucking train.
Wait, why did it hit you though?
She had a dog with her too. And like, I had seen like, she sometimes comes up on my people you may know. Cause like there's people in his life that still follow her.
Yeah.
So like when her stuff was private, like I saw like a little picture of her, but like in person, she wasn't wearing like a stitch of makeup, like didn't really talk.
But you remembered the dog's name.
Yes.
I remember the dog's name.
Because I walked back out.
Which is so on brand for us. Like she said the dog's name and you had a That's So Raven moment.
Yeah,
you were like,
I said, oh my gosh, your dog's so cute. Like, what's his name? And she said it. And I said, oh, it was one of these. Just That's So Raven. And I said, oh my God. I don't confront the issue.
Obviously
it's
not.
a non-issue. I go to my phone and I text Dylan and I'm like, I just made like a little snide comment about something regarding something that he told me. And I was like, do you want me to ask your ex about this now or when I drop the check? And he calls me and is like, what? What do you mean? I said, hey, your old dog's name was blah, 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 right? And he goes, yeah. I'm like, cool. I'm serving your ex-girlfriend right now.
Like serving her up.
Serving. I just poured her coffee. It's a Sunday. It's brunch. I just poured her a coffee.
I'm about to scrape her scraps off.
It's the
her
last
plate.
table of my day. Her mom told me she loved me because I gave her extra champagne.
Yes. So now
what?
It could only happen to you.
Literally. I don't think
Yeah.
he's ever going to have to experience that.
No.
But like, it's just like the hilarious fact of like, oh my God, like I've never seen like an actual picture of your ex and now I'm serving her at a table.
Weird.
Her and her mom and her dad and her dog.
And her dog.
And I'm like, oh, that was a cool run-in. That was cool. That was a great day. Honestly, I just laughed about it because like I know how he feels. You know,
because we're mature. Imagine like, do you remember what it was like when you were like in high school or something and you would like talk about an ex?
Oh yeah.
Or they would talk about an ex and you'd be like,
yeah,
why do you want to talk about her?
Exactly.
And
I wanted to
now we're
so
like,
bad.
oh, well.
Like I wanted to so bad just like make a joke and make it known because like I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
I don't know. She might still be salty. I have no idea. I don't know her.
Insecure though.
But I'm like, I wanted to make a joke so bad, being like, oh my God, I know how I know you. Or like say something to her mom or something. But I was like, no.
You're like, no, we're just going to slip out and tell the story later.
Yeah, I'm just going to laugh about this for the rest of my fucking life. I'm going to laugh about this on the day we get married. And be like, hey, remember when I served your ex? That was crazy. Yeah. Jesus Christ.
It's okay.
God.
Well, anyway, guys, if there's anything you're taking from this, communicate, chill out.
Chill the fuck out.
And if your relationship doesn't feel like it's moving in the right direction, please don't waste your time.
Don't waste your time. And also have that don't be so scared of having that conversation that you don't have that conversation, because the amount of times I've done that in past relationships.
Me too.
Disgusting.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, I'm just going to say everything I feel because one, this person encourages me to do it. He wants me to speak my mind. He wants me to communicate. And two, I'm wasting my time if I don't.
And if you don't have girls in your life that are helping you through all of this also,
find them.
Search
high and low.
Equator. I don't know what that means, but search. Get them. Rile them up. Loop them in. Rodeo that bitch. Hey, if I had a lasso, I would have pulled you in a long time ago. I
would have tied your ass up.
Coerced you into moving into my complex so you could be closer.
No, literally. I was like, you know what? Maybe we do this. And here we are. I love you more.
Cheers.
Oh my God.
Cheers to healthy relationships.
Yeah.
With girls and with boys.
And with partners.
Yeah.
We'll go over some funnier stuff next week, but it's just like a little catch up. It's a pretty long episode at this point. It's like an hour and 6 minutes, but there was a lot to say.
There was.
And like, honestly, last episode, like besides the audio, like listening back, I'm like, we can do better than that. Yeah. That wasn't full of substance.
This was better. Yeah. And I want to say, maybe we should put out a little
poll, a little polly poll,
a little question, or maybe like, what's something your ex taught you?
Yeah.
And we can go over it next time.
I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like comments on this. What's something that you learned from your past relationship?
Like give us a story.
You know,
or funny ex run-ins.
Oh, or that.
That would be funny.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's do that.
Yeah. Funny ex run-ins or funny run-ins of your current human's ex.
Yes. Yeah. Or that.
Please make me feel less alone, guys. Cause like that shit was
there's
actually hilarious.
Some
and
girlies out there.
Loved it. Yeah. Hey, they tipped me like 30%. I'm not mad about it. I said, thank you.
We'll see you guys next week.
Have a good week.